Ooh, what's up, nerds and geeks? My name is OMGWTF LOLFTWBRB, and for some reason I feel like I might have messed up my name, so if I did, have fun laughing at me. Anyway, welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2013. We are playing as the WWE in the current year of 2015, and we are booking NXT, the final show till Payback. So, yes, Payback, like I have been saying, will hopefully be uploaded tomorrow, which is Sunday, February 28th. And, yeah, let's just get ahead and book NXT. I'm actually a little happy with this NXT show. I didn't really know what I was doing going into it, and I definitely was getting frustrated because with NXT being an hour long, and I'm only able to have, or the fans expecting 40% matches, 60% angles. It definitely makes it a little bit harder to book, but I like what I did, so let us go ahead and run the show. So we have 3 pre-show matches, nerds and geeks. Our first one is between Baron Corbin and Zack Ryder. We have a 40 D-minus, bout that had solid in-ring action but non-existent crowd, or not much weighing heat, I should say. Baron defeating Ryder with the end of days, and one thing I would like to point out here is Baron Corbin didn't get negative heat from the crowd. I mean, actually, yes, he did. What was I talking about? I thought it said it in Road Agent Report. No, it doesn't. It says it right here. Negative crowd reaction, which is kind of funny because if you look at all this, you have Baron Corbin with a good gimmick, and then it's holding back, negative, poor psychology, inconsistency, low momentum. So, Baron is definitely going to take a little work on, but I personally like Baron Corbin, so he's worth it to me. We then go on to a 54 C minus, and about that had solid in-ring action, but not much weighing heat. I want, for some reason, I want to keep saying non-existent. Not much weighing heat. Bayley defeating Maria Hera with the Rose Plant, and the performance of Bayley stood out as being good, so very satisfied with Bayley there. Maria also doing well. Better than their match against Melissa Maria, although I do blame that on the fact that I didn't edit Melissa Maria a little bit. But then again, Bayley and Maria's lesser popularity than Melissa, but I edited Bayley a little bit as well, so that could have affected it. And then our final pre-show match of the night, nerds and geeks. The match has some good action, but not much weighing heat. Sir Nicholas Magnus defeating Goldust with the Tormentum with a 57 C minus. He was really off his game, which, why were you really off your game? I mean, you're pleased, so I don't know why. Lady James doing some good work ringside, and finally, after a string of bad chemistry, nerds and geeks, from Victoria, mostly Victoria, to freaking, what's his name, Rollins and Jimmy Uso, we finally have someone with great chemistry here. Sir Nicholas Magnus and Goldust having great chemistry, and it's showing in their performance. Goldust is also improving in performance skills. So out of curiosity, why inconsistency and holding back? My apologies also if you hear any screaming in the background. My little brother, for some reason, is screaming, so don't know why. Then we go on to the actual show, and we start off the night with Big Cass and Enzo Amore heading down to the ring, which is a 68C+, pretty much them hyping up the upcoming match and saying to everyone that their opponents tonight, the Dubstep Dorks, are soft. So doing the pre-match catchphrase, and then we go on to our tag team title match, nerds and geeks. We advertised this a few weeks back, and it is now taking place, a 48D+, and about that had solid in-ring action, but not much weighing heat. Blake and Murphy defeating Enzo and Cass. My apologies if you hear that screaming. He just won't stop. Defeating Enzo and Cass in 9 minutes and 51 seconds when Blake defeated Enzo with the drop after we also had Alexa Bliss interfere, and this is the 4th defense of their title. So yes, Alexa Bliss is officially now a part of the Dubstep Bros, or whatever the hell you want to call them. Right now they're just Blake and Murphy. My apologies right now, nerds and geeks, for the noise. And if you guys don't even hear the noise, you probably are just like, oh, shut up about it already. But I guess my little brother is fooling around with my stepfather. I have no idea. But the screaming is definitely getting annoying. Either way, though, I have officially added Bliss to Blake and Murphy, although I believe at this time she already was. So, not even a big deal. We're just going to act like she's always been there. So Blake and Murphy getting their victory over Enzo and Cass, 48D plus. Wish this would have done a little better, but not much you can do. Blake's got a negative crowd reaction, as does Murphy. Does anyone know what the negative crowd reaction thing is? Let me know in the comments below. Please and thank you. We then go on to a 63C promo where Tyler Breeze is hyping up his upcoming match later on tonight against Finn Balor, and then also throws a jab at Hideo Itami. And yeah, Tyler Breeze, everybody. Just a pretty much generic promo where he's talking about how he's just going to win tonight. And then we go on to a 68C plus. This does way better. I am so sorry, Nerds and Geeks, for the noise in the background. 68C plus. This does way better than the segment from last week. Melissa Marie ranting on about how much she just dislikes Bayley, about how Bayley, beat her last week, and how, she's been waiting years to get here in NXT, and she's not starting off on that note and pretty much just issuing another challenge to Bayley. Then we go on to Charlotte hyping up the upcoming match against her and Sasha for the NXT Divas title, or NXT Women's title, I should say, and that match will take place next week, Nerds and Geeks, so let's go ahead and add that in. Sasha Banks versus Charlotte, if I can find her, next week for the NXT Women's Championship. Apparently, I already have a pre-booking of that name, so it's probably NXT TakeOver, which let's just delete all this because some of these matches might not be taking place at TakeOver. Obviously, the Charlotte match and the Sasha Banks match is not taking place at TakeOver, so let us just go ahead and take that off and then add in Charlotte versus Sasha. There we go. Again, apologize for the noise. My little brother just doesn't know how to shut up. We then go on to our next match, which gets a 58C-, some good action and average heat. The Brian Kendrick defeating Jack Swagger by submission with a Cobra Clutch. Interesting. And Brian is improving in performance as well, so that's pretty cool. We then go on to a 69C where Brian takes the mic after his match and pretty much just issues yet another challenge to Sami Zayn, saying how Sami's afraid of him because he hasn't accepted his challenge yet and all that stuff. So Brian doing business, except he was very underwhelming despite getting a 69C+, so I don't understand. And then we go on to another music video, which is just promoting the upcoming official debut of Sir Nicholas Magnus. This is worse than it did last week, surprisingly. And then before the next match can begin, which is our main event, Finn Balor, of course, in the ring about to compete. I assume Tyler Breeze is there as well, I should say, when Kevin Owens comes out to scout Finn Balor and also join the commentary table. A 77B, freaking amazing. And then we go on to a 65C to end off the show, and a match had some good action and a good crowd. Finn Balor defeating Tyler Breeze with the flying double stomp. Tyler is also improving in performance. And we got a 67C+ for that show. I think that's about the same as it was for SmackDown, so that is pretty awesome. Pretty awesome indeed, if I do say so myself. So next week on NXT, we are going to have the Women's Championship match between Sasha and Charlotte. And also, I am probably going to actually have the debut of Hideo Itami as well. I'll probably do a tag team match between Owens, Breeze, and Balor and Itami. So, I'm not sure if that's exactly what I'm going to do, but that's what I'm thinking at the moment. The problem with NXT is, oh look at this, apparently Aiden English and Solomon Crow are going to be feuding down in the other NXT. But the problem with NXT is they don't really... Oh, I never assigned Blue Pants to a position on the roster. My apologies, Blue Pants. Like I'm saying, though, the problem with NXT is that they don't really do takeovers every month. So I've got to kind of like focus and, pay attention to... oh, wow, it went up. Cool. to how I run NXT and when I want to do some certain shows and so on and so forth. But either way, Nerds and Geeks, that is going to be the end of this week's edition of NXT. If you have enjoyed, do me a favor, leave me a comment, a like, and subscribe if you have not already. And as always, my name has been OMGWTF LOLFTWBRB, and I'll see you guys for Payback. So until then, have a good day, Nerds and Geeks.